Prof. How are you doing today? Don't worry, I'm coming to you first. I know our viewers wouldn't mind for me to, just greet you first. So yes, how are you
They
today,
never
Prof?
did mind, Bibby. This was all in your head. They never did mind.
It was all in my head, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I agree. No worries, that's fine. But yes, so how are you doing? It's good to see you again this morning, so.
Yes, same here. It's good to see you. Today is the 19th day of December, 2021, isn't it?
I know, Christmas is next week.
It is. It's on Saturday.
Well, viewers, good morning to you. Welcome to the show. It is the 19th of December, as Prof said. I mean, he remembers all the numbers. But yeah, all I know is Christmas is next week. And I am so excited. I'm sure you are too. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please do let your friends and family know that we are live. And so, yes, let's just come on this show this morning. We have something really different for you. We have some special guests joining us, and you do not want to miss their segment. Of course, don't miss this segment as well. So please do let your friends and family know to join us right away. So thank you for joining once again. Prof, how was your week? I mean, this is a new week now. We're looking forward to what this week has in stock. But yes, how was your last week?
Yes, because this week, of course, is Christmas week, right? So everything.
Exactly, yes.
Right? But last week, yes, it was a good week, really good week, and I think something that I found really interesting, right? I don't know whether you've been following the news with all the news, press conferences around Omicron and so forth. But when the Prime Minister announced Plan B. That was a couple of weeks ago now. Yes. And there was a question that somebody asked. The person said, well, if you're announcing Plan B on the premise that, Omicron is spreading and we need to do something about it, then what's the point of having countries on red lists? Because the thing's already here. Then the Prime Minister said, you know what, that's a really good question. We're going to look at it again. And on Wednesday, right, from 4 a.m. on Wednesday, red lists were abolished.
That's the main thing that made my week. Let me just put it that way.
Yes. So that means that, for those of us, a lot of people here who have that favorite West African country that lots of them want to go to. And if you had deferred your plans and canceled them, you still have some time, I guess, to buy some really expensive plane tickets to go.
Well, yeah. Do you know, I was going to say, don't you think this is just coming too late already? Because if we were traveling to West Africa, for instance, now, getting a flight and getting a ticket at this time, it's just...
Well, you wouldn't get it at this time, right? If you'd been following the news, you would have known, right? Because they announced it, I believe, on Tuesday. So you would know from Tuesday. So you can book your flight. Yes, it's still going to be expensive.
But as a Tuesday, Prof, how much would it cost you to fly to, for instance, Ghana? I don't know. It's just going to be expensive. But anyway, it is good news. It's still rejoicing over it. As I said, Prof, that made my week. Seriously, because I wasn't thinking...
It made your week, but you think of some people who came in, say, on Sunday, and they paid £2,340 or whatever the amount of money is.
I didn't laugh. I'm hoping that those people get refunded, because I'm not sure if they're going to keep them for the whole of the 10 days in the hotel. You understand?
That is a good question. I mean, I guess you would say that's a good point. If you've already paid for it, and then halfway through, that's not happening yet. What happens? I don't know what happened. I mean, obviously, by now, they would know. But if anybody knows actually what happened,
please do share with us.
Yeah, so we know.
Let us know, because yes, I do know people as well. We're already in we're in the hotel 2 days just before the announcement. And of course, if everyone is going to be free to fly in and fly out, why should I have to pay that much money and still stay in the hotel for the whole of the 10 days when the rules have changed? But so it is Christmas, and we all know this is the time that we are so excited. It's festivities that goes on around us. People are really, really, I can't even point at any other time of the year that is as sweet, as loving, as nice, the way you go around, everyone is in high spirits, even at work, where normally towards the end of the year, everyone is a bit kind of fatigued and tired, just want to get on with their whatever. But once it's Christmas, everyone starts to be very upbeat and whatnot. So Prof, for you, as Christmas is just next week, what are your plans? What are you looking forward to? What are you grateful for? I mean, any of these things that you want to share with us?
Well, first, Bibby, I would say technically, if you believe that Sunday is the first day of the week, then Christmas is this week.
Wow, yes. I believe that actually Christmas is this week. So Christmas is on what? On Saturday?
On Saturday, yes. So by this time next week, Christmas is done.
That's
Well,
it.
Christmas Day is done, right? So that's interesting. But you know what? I say that Christmas for me, I think it has evolved over time, and I think most people who I guess have seen their relationship status change would say the same, which is that the way you think about Christmas as when you're a child or when you're a single person who's not really concerned about too much, and then you get a family, it kind of changes, right?
Yeah.
And for me, what matters and what the best memories of Christmas start to evolve and revolve around different things.
Yeah.
So if I think about when it was just me, my best memories of Christmas would have been perhaps around if I did have guests, the guests that came, or where I went, I got jollof rice in somebody else's house. You know, it's always best when somebody else does all the cooking and cleaning. You just come, eat, and walk away, right? Yeah. And so maybe it revolved around the activities. But then I find that I find the love of my life and someone to spend that time together with, it's the memories start to revolve less around the activities and more about the relationship and who you have with you. And so when you think about that time, the moments I tend to remember are those moments, those kind of passing moments of, even if you're not doing anything, you've had an exhausting Christmas day because you spend what, maybe 1 hour eating, and then you spend what feels like 1 week preparing and cleaning.
Preparing for the food.
So it's less about that now, more about the relationship. So I think for me, whenever I think of that season, and this is what you alluded to, for a lot of people, they think about relationships. For some, it's about past relationships. For some, it's about present relationships. And for some, it's about future relationships. Yeah. Remembering what ought to be and how it ought to be. And that's where you see that, like you said, many people become nicer because they are thinking of what ought to be.
The rate is high. Yeah.
You imagine that should continue through the year, but I don't know.
That would be nice. It would be nice. It's always like when people say you come back from Christmas break on the 5th or 4th of January or whenever it is, and everyone in the office is a bit kind of like just grumpy, there. And you're wondering, like, guys, wake up. You only had last week was all like everyone was upbeat and very excited and happy, and what's happened? But it feels like there's just something about the period. I know that as Christians we always say that it's not just about, let's not forget the reason for the season.
Yes, the relationship.
And so it's like, okay, do we take that time out to reflect on the reason for the season? And also about relationship, as you said, some people are going to spend Christmas alone. Last year, even for couples who were like in different countries at the time, and because of the pandemic or the lockdown, they couldn't spend Christmas together. But this year is hopefully going to be very well. We're all going to be allowed to see ourselves and spend Christmas with our families, because it's only 4 or 5 days to Christmas now. Anything can change, but we're trusting God that nothing else will mess up with this. But yeah, it is an exciting period. I'd say that for our viewers, as you're joining us this morning, we say, do not forget the reason for the season. What is that reason for you for this season? I mean, I've got Christmas tree, as I said before, or I'm sure I've shared this before on this show. I wasn't really into Christmas before. I grew up as a Muslim girl, didn't really know anything about Christmas and all. But now with my children, I mean, my Christmas tree came up from like mid-November, although it was because I had something to do at work. But again, it's been up since then, and it's going to come down probably end of January or so. But hey, there's nothing else to be grateful for than life and everything that has happened in our lives so far. I am grateful about Christmas. I'm grateful about this season, and I'm much more even grateful for next month, which is January, because January is my birth month. So what is there not to be grateful for?
You had to slip that in there. But I
had to. So in case you want to send me birthday presents, so you know where to send them.
So, but you know what? You talk about gratitude and how Christmas is going to be celebrated, and we've got a special pair of people who are going to tell us something about how their Christmas is going to be. So wait for it, don't go anywhere. We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see you shortly.
Time stops for no one, yet its ceaseless passage is dotted with kairos moments, where the heavens kiss the earth and the impossible becomes possible. 2021 has been another eventful year, and now we stand on the precipice of a new year. Brace yourself, something is about to happen. This is a kairos moment, a divine opportunity to step into the new. Join us on Friday, the 31st of December, as we cross over into 2022 in style. Psalmist and warrior worshipper Deborah Darling will be with us, and Pastor Temi Odejide has a prophetic word for us for the new year. You don't want to miss this. Come in person to the Rock Tower or join us online on all our digital platforms at HOTR London from 10 p.m. till 12:30 a.m. Don't miss this prophetic encounter. Something is indeed about to happen.
Hello,
hey,
guys.
Mr. and Mrs. Adedigba. See, oh my God, you are a very first SonRise couple.
Yeah. Well, coming together. Yes, we've had couples, and I know people who are watching will actually be wondering, why exactly we've got these two back. Well, those who are avid followers of our Spotlight Minute will already have a guess as to what the answer is. I don't know that people will realize it, but among the people that we have at the top of the leaderboard, Mayowa, I believe, was actually the first person to get to the top of that leaderboard. And we said that she set the rule book, the playbook on how to smash Spotlight Minute.
Yes, she did.
But when Adeyinka came, he didn't do too badly either. He didn't quite hit the heights that Mayowa did, but he did do too badly. So he's sitting right under that leaderboard. So coincidentally as well, it just so happens that you got married this year, both of you.
Yes, we did.
It's like you've had a lot this year.
Yes, I think it was the Spotlight connection, But yeah, so in thinking about as we're coming, obviously Christmas is next Saturday, right? Yeah. So in thinking about this time of the year, we're going to ask you a few questions, see your thoughts. So my first question to you is, how does it feel coming to spend Christmas together? First Christmas together as a couple?
Let me answer that one. Feels great. I think Christmas is different when you're married because you get to start your own traditions as a family. And I'm a big Christmas fanatic. I love Christmas. Our tree was up at the end of November, nice and early. And I'm looking forward to us creating our own family traditions for ourselves for Christmas going forward. So yeah, really excited. I'm really grateful that we have this opportunity to spend it together.
So if I just pick up on that, before going to the next question. So what is different for you between this Christmas and the last one?
I feel like I have more responsibility this one because Yinka doesn't really, his family background aren't really big on Christmas, whereas my family really is big on Christmas. So I feel responsible to kind of get the Christmas cheer into him and really get him feeling like Santa in the making. So I've kind of taken that upon myself. And also because we have our own home together as well, we're going to have friends over, hopefully, so that hosting rather than just sitting around waiting for my mum to do all the cooking.
You were just jumping the gun there because I was going to come straight to you and say, okay, how do you intend on spending Christmas? Because you've told us what is different from last year's Christmas to this year now, but there's just so much to look forward to. And I'm not sure if this is a question that Adeyinka would like to answer. How do you intend spending Christmas together as a couple this year?
Oh, there's something she missed out. She mentioned the fact that there's a Christmas tree up end of November. What she has not mentioned is that we have gifts at the bottom of the Christmas tree already.
Wow.
I know.
Well done.
So the first thing all wrapped with names already. Yeah, of course, I will not share.
I'm sure myself, I'm
I know, I'm just going to say that.
Under that Christmas tree.
So, the morning of the Christmas, we intend to open the gifts, of course. Christmas basically is about sharing love, sharing gifts. So that will be what we'll be using to kick off our Christmas. Then later during the day, we'll be inviting friends and Well, with government restriction and rules permitting, but so far they said that we can go ahead with our Christmas plans and everything. So we intend to have friends around, and guess what? We have games to play that day. There's a Mr. and Mrs. game. There's a
Are you sending us invitation? Because with all of this. Oh, wow. That's really good. That's good. It's like there's a whole lot to look forward to. You know, I can just imagine the excitement, you know, in both of you spending our Christmas together in our own home. You know, it just feels really nice. Oh, well done. Well done, you two. Yeah. And well, Mayowa, well done for getting to treat.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? I think it's interesting, right? Because, of course, Christmas has this element that is both personal, in the sense that, like you said, Christmas tradition, different people do Christmas in different ways, often based on culture and experiences and history. But there's also an element, or there are elements of Christmas, I would say, that go beyond that. And my question to you now is, what is it about Christmas that most resonates with you? Mayowa, feel free to answer this one.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think Christmas has the fun family commercial side of it, but there's also the spiritual side of it as well. I think what resonates the most with me at Christmas time is just the beauty of what God did for us in giving us his son. I think there's always a Christmas carol or nativity story that you go to, and I think if you just kind of reflect on what happened, it's just really profound that God really loved us so much that he literally gave us his son, and that Jesus kind of sacrificed himself willingly for us. And I think it's just that kind of thankfulness and gratitude that comes through just thinking about that and meditating about that. And I think when you're surrounded by family and friends, it kind of hits home even more at God's faithfulness, quite frankly, especially given the year we've had with the pandemic as well. Just having all your family and friends around, being able to go to church and see the people that you know and love is a really big blessing.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's I think you've hit on a note there, because I want to think that everybody who's watching this and listening to you also identifies with that. And some of the things you've talked about, the true meaning of it. And one of the things I found interesting was that I think it was last year, and I was at a business gathering, and then the leader of the organization finished talking, and he said, I just want to remind you of the true meaning of Christmas. Whether you're a person of faith or not, there is something more to Christmas. And I thought, you know what? This is it, right? This is it. Yeah. Regardless of what you think or what you don't think, there is a deeper meaning. And thank you for bringing that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, it's a beautiful time for me. For the last, I can't remember how many years now, I don't go through any Christmas period without watching Passion of Christ. You know, it just brings that memory. It brings whatever it is that we've been reading in the Bible to life. So I truly enjoy that every year. So thank you for that, Mayowa. Now I'll come to you, Adeyinka, because right now it seems don't think you're on the spotlight or something like that. You know, it's just really nice to have a young couple, I say young couple, spending their first Christmas together this year, and you're actually sharing your time with us on SonRise. So it's really a privilege. So thank you. But now we've been talking about, in the last few weeks, we've been talking about gratitude. You know, it's the end of the year. There's been so much happening in this year so far. But as a couple, what are you grateful for? So you might want to start off with you as an individual, and then maybe you as both of you as a couple. What is it that you're grateful for this year?
Is that my question?
Yes, to you, yes.
So I will start with myself as an individual. I thank God because to be honest, it was tough beginning of the pandemic, because that was when I was job hunting, and I shared with my wife that then, you know, when you make applications, then they respond to you, oh, sorry, we're no more recruiting. And towards end of, I think, November, when the pandemic was really at its peak, I got 3 of us I was selecting.
It's fun.
And that's when I got into the relationship, and it was just wonderful. It was a wonderful
He
experience.
who finds a wife finds a good thing.
I was wondering where you were going to say that.
You just needed to start a
Well done.
relationship.
We're learning.
You just needed to have this
That was
relationship
a
with
good
Mayowa.
one, babe.
Yeah, so that was the first Christmas as boyfriend and girlfriend. And we're like, okay, we know what we're doing. This is what we want for ourselves. How do we plan this wedding, to ensure that it's age-free? And there was restriction. So what we did, okay, in faith, we fixed the dates, and we're planning it with Boris Johnson. All the 5 p.m.
Yes.
all the 5 p.m. announcements. What's it going to see? How does it affect wedding? How does it affect wedding? God being on our side, it was a success. The traditional, of course, it was busy, but it was a success. All the processes and everything, it was wonderful. So I give God the glory. And spending the first Christmas, like she mentioned earlier, that I'm not big on Christmas. I don't, as a family, my own family, we don't entertain guests. What we do basically is to visit individually. So visit our own friends, everybody out of the house.
Out of the house.
No proper culture. So when we spoke about this, I'm like, okay, I would rather adopt your own than you adopting my own. Mine is boring. So I'm dancing to our tunes now. So and I'm loving every bit of it, to be honest.
Oh wow, that's really good. Really, really good. I have to say, though I wasn't at your wedding, I saw some pictures, and those pictures were so beautiful. I'm not sure if Prof was there, but yeah, I was. Say that.
I was there.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
I don't know what I was
of
about
course.
you though.
Yes.
But it's okay.
I got the invitation, I just didn't go. Well, that's
even worse.
But yeah, to say that was all planned in all of this pandemic, with everything going on, and you still had a beautiful wedding ceremony like that, definitely you do have a lot to be grateful to God for. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you. I don't know if Prof has anything else to ask you.
No.
Our SonRise couple. I'm beginning to name everyone on this show now. We had Grandma SonRise last week. Here is SonRise couple.
Maybe they are a spotlight minute couple. But thanks guys. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, we are going to the Thanksgiving service shortly. And it was only fitting that we ended on this note of what we're grateful to God for. And for everybody watching, thank you for spending time with us. We know you're grateful for something. You'll get a chance to share that at church as well during the service. But for the moment, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll see you shortly. God bless you. Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christ is throned in glory and was born in a manger lowly. He is the Prince of Peace, the Lion of Judah, the everlasting Father, and so much more. But this Christmas, we call him Emmanuel. God is with us. Don't miss our Christmas production with special guest psalmist JC May, airing on all our digital platforms at HOTL London, at 11 a.m. on Christmas Day and at 10 a.m. on Boxing Day. Come, let us worship the King of Kings together. His name is Emmanuel.
Oh, awesome. That was so good. Thank you so much to our lovely couple for joining us this morning. Well, it is the last Sunday before Christmas, and it is that time for service. I can't believe it's actually time for us to go into service. But as always, Prof, please take us into service. What are we looking forward to today?
Well, thank you, Bibby. I will say to you, not just what we're looking forward to today. This week has actually been an interesting week on this last few days, because last Sunday we had live groups having Live Fest, right?
Yes.
Church in the evening. Yesterday we had Christmas Fest, the outreach to the community, and it was a really great success. And we believe that people's lives have been touched. And today we're having the church final Thanksgiving of the year, the final face-to-face service of the year. It's going to be an important day for all of us, because we're not going to meet together face-to-face in a church setting until, wait for it, the 31st.
31st.
Yes, which is crossover. So, well, New Year, right? You go in this year, you come out the other year.
You come out next year.
So I think for all of us, we're looking forward to just bringing this year, at least this side of Christmas, this side of the year, to an end with a flourish. We're still talking about our gratitude. We're still talking about the wonderful garment of praise and thanksgiving that we have received from God.
Yes.
And we are still going in to celebrate not just the relationships we've had, Not just the relationships we have today, but the relationships that ought to be. And underpinning all of that is, of course, the greatest one we have, that with God himself. Yeah. Everybody, it's been great to spend this year with you. I know we'll see you again on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day, but not face-to-face before New Year's Day. So enjoy the service today. Enjoy the party. Don't go anywhere. God bless you. See you there.
Take care.